So WoW Remix is the most cosmetically rewarding thing you've ever been able to do in the game's 19-year history. And there's just an absurd amount of cosmetics you can get fairly easily through doing this limited time event. And a lot of these cosmetics are things you've been able to earn for the past 12 years and are things you'll be able to earn after this event is over. But mixed in with all those old cosmetics are unique things that you're only able to obtain from this remix event. So in this video, I want to go over all of the different unique cosmetics that are only able to be obtained from this event and how to get all of them pretty easily. Now, a lot of the items unique to this event are obtained from the bronze vendors. So you will need a good chunk of bronze to get these, but good news is none of the unique items that are bought with bronze are the super expensive ones. You have the really rare drop mounts you could have been farming for the past 12 years that are like 30 to 40,000 bronze from the traders, but all of the unique items to this event are going to be under 10,000 a piece, a lot of them being way under 10,000. So you shouldn't have to grind a ton to get all of these specific items from these traders. Now, I think the most sought after unique items from this event are going to be the class ensembles. So during Dragonflight, you may have seen these class ensembles that were put in the trading post every month that would consist of 3 armor pieces and then 3 different weapons that had a matching aesthetic, one for each class. But when these items were put on the trading post, the set of armor and the set of weapons were actually different colors. Now, if you get the class ensembles, which are basically the exact same things from WoW Remix, they're going to be the opposite colors. So let's say you got a set of weapons for your mage from the trading post, you can now go get the armor set from WoW Remix that'll be the same color as that weapon set. So if you ended up getting those items from the trading post, you can now get the other matching pieces from WoW Remix. And if you didn't get any of those items from the trading post, you can at least get the same items in a different color, all from WoW Remix. And one of the big reasons why these are the most sought after is because they're of the higher quality, of graphical fidelity of items from Dragonflight. Like if you compare items from Mists of Pandaria to Dragonflight items, there's a very clear difference in the fidelity and quality of the cosmetics. And some of these are just incredibly cool. For mages, you can basically get Kael'thas's floating balls over your head. So some of these are just super cool. Now, these class ensembles are going to be bought for bronze from one of the traders, but you're going to have to complete some achievements to unlock these class cosmetics. First off, for the class ensemble, you have to complete the Landfall achievement, which is focused around the Horde versus Alliance questing in Crasing Wilds. And then for the class arsenal, which are the weapons, you're going to have to complete the Isle of Thunder achievement, which is just based around doing a bunch of different objectives on the Isle of Thunder. Now, what's pretty interesting with this is that whatever character you complete this achievement on, you will get both the armor and weapon sets for free, so you don't have to buy those specific ones with bronze. So you could go make a new character of every single class for Remix and just do this achievement, and you'll actually get every single one of these ensembles. But if you just want to complete this on one character, you can then go to the trader and buy every ensemble for every class. Now, you won't initially see the other classes ensembles. Go to the top drop-down menu and select all instead of it just being selected on your specific class, and you'll be able to buy every single weapon and armor set for all of the classes on one character. And the weapon sets are going to be 3,000 bronze a piece, and the armor sets are going to be 4,000 a piece. So buying them all is going to be a bit expensive, but they're worth, and you can actually get this bronze fairly easily. And next up, we have some unique cosmetics from the World Apparel Trader, which is also going to be located at any of the bazaars. And she's going to be selling a lot of new Mists of Pandaria inspired transmog items. Some of the most cool being just Shadow Pan armor sets. There's 2 different colors of these, and these are legitimately just the full armor set that the Shadow Pan is wearing. These are something that people have been waiting for since Mists of Pandaria. They're super cool, and they're only 2,500 a piece. I'd recommend going and getting those. Then she sells 3 different recolors of the Kor'kron Shaman set. This was actually a super rare cosmetic drop from some trash enemies in the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, and there's just 3 different recolors of them, all for 2,500 a piece. And then this vendor is also just selling a bunch of more basic clothing sets. Now, some of these are really cool mixed with other things. For instance, one of these clothing sets is basically the clothing the Chen Storm Stout is actually wearing, just the clothing portion. So if you're someone that likes to put together more unique transmog sets, these are something you're definitely going to want. And all of these more clothing clothing type sets are going to be $12.50 a piece. So getting all the unique cosmetics from this vendor is going to be much more cheap than the other vendors. And the final vendor we're going to be looking at is the Beastmaster, which is also located in the bazaar. And this vendor sells all of the mounts that you can buy for bronze. And there are going to be a few dozen mounts you can buy that are unique to this event. Now, these are going to be recolors of all of the different mounts you could get in Mists of Pandaria. So there are recolors of like the Shadow Pan Tigers. There are recolors of the different cranes. There are recolors of the different dinosaur mounts. So there are a bunch of different mounts you can get. Now, all of these mounts are, again, still going to be under 10,000. I think the most expensive of these mounts are going to be 6,000 or 8,000. So even though there's a lot of these and they're a bit more expensive than some of the armor sets, they're still not going to be these super expensive mounts. Once you get to any mount that's over 10,000 bronze at this trader, those are all mounts that are still obtainable in retail and have been obtainable for the last 12 years. Now, those are all the cosmetic items that are unique to this event that have never been obtainable before that you can buy with bronze. But there are a handful of items that have been obtainable during Mists of Pandaria that were then unobtainable after the expansion ended. And these items are going to be at the heroic and mythic vendor in the bazaar. And these items are actually going to be BOA weapons. Back in Mists of Pandaria, defeating Garrosh in any non-LFR difficulty would allow you to get some BOA weapons. So you'd also be able to use those on any new characters. They're all very horde themed, so they're themed around Garrosh's horde, and you're able to obtain these heirloom weapons again during this event. Now, they're going to be a little bit different. They're all going to cost 8,000 bronze, but they're all also going to cost 2 bones of Manaroth. Now, you get bones of Manaroth from defeating Garrosh on normal, heroic, or mythic difficulty. Now, if you defeat Garrosh on a normal difficulty, you only get 1 bone of Manaroth, and the raids do reset daily, so if you want to just go do this and get these on normal, you'll still have to go back day after day. But then if you want to get this done quicker, you can go do this on heroic or mythic difficulty, and you'll get more bones of Manaroth the higher difficulty it is. I think it's actually 10 bones on mythic, so if you're geared enough to do mythic, you can get these done very quickly just doing like 1 or 2 runs. So if you never played during Mists of Pandaria, these are going to be completely new to you, but if you played back then and raided in Siege of Orgrimmar, you may already have some or all of this. So that's all of the unique items you're able to get from WoW Remix, specifically from buying them with bronze from traders at the bazaar. And I'll have a link in the description to a spreadsheet that shows every single item you're able to buy from these traders. And it does have the unique items from this event specifically labeled, so you can just have an easy checklist of everything you bought and everything you're still trying to obtain. Now, if you want to get every single item we just went over from all of these traders, including the heirloom weapons, it's going to cost 223,000 bronze, which actually isn't that much. You're getting 40,000 just for hitting level 70. You'll probably have like 30 to 40,000 getting to 70. And then just doing your handful of dailies, you can get over 8,000 bronze a day. So if you're only doing that, you'll still very easily be able to get every unique item. Now, there are still dozens and dozens of other items at all of these traders, but again, you don't need to go get every other cosmetic from these traders. Every other item from these traders that we didn't mention in this video are items that have been obtainable for the last 12 years, are still obtainable on retail right now, and are gonna be obtainable in the same way after this event ends. So if you want to go get those cosmetics, it's gonna be easier, but they're not gonna be permanently going away. But that's actually not all of the unique items you can get from this event. That's just all the unique items you can buy with bronze. Because looking past the traders, there are also a handful of achievements you can get for this event that will also reward you with some very unique items. For instance, you had to do that achievement to be able to buy the ensembles, and then you also have things like being able to get Chen's hat from the original cinematic for Mists of Pandaria, where part of it gets chipped off. You can get that hat with the chip taken off. You can get Chen's keg. You can get some new recolors of mounts. So there are some pretty interesting cosmetics you can get from doing these achievements, and you only have to do these achievements once. So just on your main character, go do all of it. Most of these achievements are just like killing some rares, doing some reputations, or doing some quest lines. They're all fairly easy and can be done on pretty much any character of any power level. This is also where you get the really cool back piece that's a chicken coop with the animated chicken on it. But that's not all for the unique cosmetics you can get in this event, because there's also a bunch of weapon drops that are either recolors of items that you could get in Mists of Pandaria that you can still get, and then there's also a few models that were never used in Mists of Pandaria but have been in the files since that expansion release. Now I'm also going to have a spreadsheet linked in the description that is constantly being updated that has information on where you can get all of these different items, because all of these items are actual drops from raid bosses, dungeon bosses, quests, random zone drops. So there's a lot of different areas and content you're going to have to go do to try to get these recolors. So that's all of the unique cosmetic items you're able to obtain from WoW Remix. And in my opinion, most of the coolest and most unique and most sought after items are all going to be coming from the traders or those achievements we went over. So if you're looking to get the best bang for your buck, those are the things I would focus on first. And then if you want to keep farming, you can go get all those different weaponry colors as random drops. But that's all I want to go over. So thanks for watching.